What don't you talk to God about? You know, like in your mind where you kind of overthink certain things and you kind of start to create a new reality than what's going on right now. And that new reality kind of becomes your character because you begin to live in that new reality. And before you know it, it's kind of depicted in your character, depicted in the things you do. And it kind of holds itself as a barrier in your relationship with God. Yeah, it just stops you. That's what's the hardest thing to talk to God about. Your brain.
I remember when my youth leader defended me after something happened, and I just remember feeling so protected and loved that she was so willing to, get in this other person's face on my behalf and to make sure that I felt safe and comfortable. I'm so grateful that she did that for me.
Wow. What do you do when you feel undefendable? That's a serious question. Well, obviously, God's our refuge, so we're supposed to, confide in Him in those situations because, when you can't fight your own battles, He's there for you. That's how great our God is, an all-powerful God. Yeah, that's my only advice I can give to that question because that's a tough one.
Hey guys, so we are talking about the greatest of all time, and this week we are talking about him as a defender. I'm back with Chris.
Oh, say. Hey.
Legit, we're doing well with that, Antonio, still. And Jake, how are you?
Good. Great to be back.
It's good to be back.
You're wearing the same clothes, odd.
Same clothes, same socks. Do you like these are my new Christmas gift socks.
Oh, who got them for you?
Mother-in-law made them. Tie-dye.
No,
and all that.
I'll
Yeah,
tie.
actually
I
a
thought
sick
she like done the tick as well.
No.
you
they're
don't really.
legit. They're real Nike.
Strong.
Nice, isn't it?
All right, so God as a defender, what do we think? Do we agree? Because we were talking about this in terms of, do we think that he is a defender, or do you feel like people might disagree with that?
I guess the thought that comes to my mind, to use football fans,
Yeah.
yes, no, analogy. If you were playing a football game, you'd much rather win the game 4-0
Yeah.
than 4-3, because 4-0, everything has gone in your way. 4-3, some things gone against you, some things have gone your way. And I think sometimes with God, we want everything to go our way.
Yeah.
Wow.
We want to win that 4-0,
Yeah.
but sometimes life isn't like that.
Very,
It
very
will be
true.
that 4-3. Stuff does go against us. So yes, I think he is our defender, but that doesn't always look like everything going for us, everything going in our way
that's good.
in life. Do you know what I mean?
Nice. Has there been a time when you felt someone's defended you, or
A few times.
really?
A few times. Actually, there was an incident at work where a colleague of mine reported me to my manager, and then my manager just said, "Hey, on the DL, this has been said about you." So I'm like, what the frick? And obviously you go into panic mode, but she reassured me, like she defended me. She was like, "I've got your back, don't worry." And then we addressed the situation. Thankfully, it was all lies, so I was blessed.
Nice.
But I think, like, as you're saying, like, in terms of football analogy, like, as a defense, you're working as a team. So if you go out of position, another defender will go into that position, and that's what,
Nice.
maybe I was out of position to a certain degree, and I didn't see what's coming.
Yeah,
My
right.
manager stepped in and defended me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
I love that. So in terms of like God being our defender and stuff, I feel like in order for him to defend, he has to know what is actually happening in our lives. And obviously he knows all things and stuff, but we know in terms of that relationship and us, I think it's us even knowing the fact that he's present and that he's defending us.
Yeah.
That's that prayer, that relationship, us actually sharing stuff. So my next question, which I'll answer first, is quite a heavy one and stuff, is there something that you don't talk to God about? And I'll answer first. I'm going to be very vulnerable. You're
Can't
too
wait.
much taking a sip of that tea.
And he's ran out of tea, he's just doing it.
Okay, so the thing that I wouldn't say I don't talk to him about, because I don't think there's anything I don't talk to him about, but I think the thing that I talk to him the least about is the fact that I'm single. I think it's something where I tend to put it in a box and then I won't think about it because that's what I assume, the fact that in terms of being strong, being, you know, strong, independent women, all that type of thing. Like, it's like if I put it in a box and I'm not talking about it, or even sometimes I'll lock it in a box, but then I'll do the self-talk. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll tell myself, oh, this is okay. You know, you've listened to another sermon, you listened to another podcast. And in fact, what I need in order to be strong and in order to be able to be healthy is his voice and his opinion on this. And sometimes the thirst gets real, like, well, you know, but like, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and so you need him to speak into it and be like, listen, like, this is, I'm gonna feed you for this season and stuff. But Jake, is there something that you?
Well, now, even as you were speaking, I was just then thinking, because I could be like, oh, yeah, I speak to God about everything. But then in my head, I was thinking, actually, how much do I pray to him versus how much do I just think about it? And me thinking about it.
That
me
is so
talking to him.
real.
Do you know what I mean?
Prayer
I reckon I
versus
get that
thought.
across quite a bit now I think about it. Do I just walk and in my own thoughts, I'm talking between myself, or am I actually bringing that to him? Because I think my favourite part of prayer is that you can just do it anywhere, everywhere. Don't have to speak out loud, can do it in your head. But at the same time, I reckon probably in my own head, I think about it and I don't actually properly bring it to him. So nothing specific, but now you say
You didn't want to
maybe
share.
there's
You
a
don't want to be
Yeah,
as vulnerable. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm out here pouring out my heart. You don't want to.
Don't get no tea.
No, because in my head, I don't think there's nothing specific that I'm like, of course I'd bring that to God. But the more I think about it, too many times I probably just bring it to myself and overthink it myself rather than actually, God, let's bring this to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm a bit like both of you. I think I definitely overthink things before I bring it to God. So like, I'm overthinking because I have like 10 different answers in my head of like, oh, this went like this went like this because of this. But I often feel that like I always bring it to God when I can't find the answer. If that makes sense. So I'm like, this don't make sense. Oh, it's gonna make sense to you though. If that makes sense. So I feel like, and then they're the times where I'm like, this is hard to bring to you. And I think like it's like even a connection. Like you don't tell everyone your secrets unless you feel you have a connection with them. So I guess for me, if I feel I'm not that close to God, I probably wouldn't bring it to God. So I'm going through a season of trying to reconnect. When I'm like connected to God, I can be like, hey, Monday morning, 3 o'clock, like throughout the day. So I think it's just where I'm at on my journey.
Nice. Yeah. So in terms of, when there's times when we feel like, you know what, we've actually done something that's a little bit, I don't know, it's undefendable. What's our response? What should we be doing?
Pin drop.
I think always your position's just got to be, I surrender this to, because you can think, nah, that's too far gone, or no one can defend me from this. I think God can pretty much defend you from anything. You look at the people in the Bible that he actually stood up for, who you would have thought, we said it last week about Peter, Judas, betrayal, all that sort of stuff. Who would have thought, I've gone way past the line, no one's going to defend me. What you were saying, have your back. And I think he's always had people's back. Like whatever you think it is, I think he'll always have your back.
No,
but you just
100%.
got to surrender that to him, I reckon.
And even going off that, kind of makes me think about the woman who's caught in the act of adultery. Like, she's just been caught in the maddest situation, and then all she could do was surrender. Like, she could have said, like, Jesus, but she just, like, sat at his feet and just surrendered, as you're saying. So I think, like, most times it's often when we do things, we just have to be like God, I just want to rest with you, rather than trying to wrestle with what we've done, if that makes sense. Like, just want to wrestle with you, because often I think we wrestle with what we've done rather than focus on who we're giving it to, if that makes sense.
No, I love that. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, one time, like, I had a friend, and I wasn't there. I wasn't present as a friend, literally, like, and she doesn't talk to me no more, which is fair play and stuff. And I do feel like I could carry shame, like you're talking about in terms of Judas, but I'm always reminded of that scripture where it says, in Deuteronomy, where it says, like, I lay before you life and death, choose life. And I feel like I could sit in shame and be like, oh my gosh, she really, really needed me and I wasn't there. Or I could be like, you know what, God, like, I know I'm imperfect. I made a mistake, and she made a choice that she didn't want to be friends with me. That's fine. but I'm choosing the fact that you're going to make me better every single day. And stuff. And I feel like David is like such an example of that in the Bible, where he's always doing the madness out there and stuff. And he's just like, you know, like when his firstborn died and he was like crying and whatever, and then after God took his firstborn, the servant came to him and was like, oh, how come you're not crying anymore? And he was just like, God's already done it. Like, so let me just move on with my life. Like, God is always good. And I feel like that should be our response in the times when we do feel like we're undefendable. Like, it's like, listen, God's always good. God's always faithful, and he's always got my back. Like, so he will defend me, literally, in terms of the bigger picture. Literally, I will get better. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that, you know, you can be more vulnerable than they were in terms of, you know, bringing them up what you don't talk to God about and stuff. But yeah, carry on the conversation in your cruise, and we will see you next week.